now.
The sun hits the planet on a different kind of angle down here. It's beautiful, it's lovely, and it's sophisticated. Canada offers stunning landscapes, beautiful natural wonders, and the Sprott Shaw Language College. Our school was founded to amplify and expand the opportunities you have in life. At Sprott Shaw Language College, we want to put you on the path to greatness. We take great pride in serving as your educator, mentor, and advisor. At our core, we are educators. Nothing makes us happier than to see our students progress and develop personally. As a country, Canada is home to a great mixture of diverse nationalities, cultures, and personalities. SSLC mirrors that spirit of multiculturalism on our campuses. Being surrounded by so many interesting people will inspire you to do great things. Vancouver is home to many attractions that bring people from all over the world. Join the incredible melting pot of ideas, philosophies, perspectives, and ideologies that we call British Columbia. Many people are attracted to the cosmopolitan lifestyle that Victoria City offers. If you love living in a highly diverse, multicultural modern city, living in Victoria will be perfect for you. As Canada's largest city, Toronto has unique opportunities you will not find anywhere else. Meeting interesting and influential people will increase your chances of finding learning opportunities and discovering your true life's passion. Join us at Sprott Shaw Language College to enhance the quality and success of your life. Now is your time.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to our Pathway webinar series. My name is Ilyas, and I'm the Pathway Program Manager here at SSLC. I hope everyone is doing well and staying safe. Today, we have our sister school, Sprott Shaw College, joining us today, and we're going to be talking about our healthcare assistant program for international students. And we have Teresa and Hemant joining us. Hello to you both. How are you?
Hi, morning.
Good morning.
We are good, Ilyas.
And we have a small problem, I think. Okay, here you are.
Yes, Ilyas.
Okay, welcome to our webinar today. Thank you for joining today. Can we get to know you first? Teresa, can we start with you? Ladies first.
Sure. I'm Therese. I'm one of the healthcare assistant instructor at Sprott Shaw. My background is nursing. I've had, for the past 17 years, I've been working in the healthcare industry in various roles. I'm passionate about senior care, and I'm passionate about teaching and helping others to succeed.
Great. Thanks for joining us again. And Hemant, yourself?
Sure. So my name is Hemant Kumar, and I'm the marketing manager at Sprott Shaw College International. So as part of Sprott Shaw College International, we offer a range of programs which we'll discuss in today's presentation. And then we, of course, I'm looking forward to discuss about the healthcare assistant programs that are offered by us to our international students across the globe.
Great. Yeah, I'm also very excited today to learn more about our healthcare assistant international experience program designed for our international students. So I'm sure we're going to learn a lot from both of you today. But before we go on to the details, maybe can you give us a background of Sprott Shaw College? Can you please introduce Sprott Shaw College first?
Sure, why not? I'll be happy to discuss and talk about Sprott Shaw College. So Sprott Shaw College was founded in 1903. It's one of the oldest and the largest private institutions in British Columbia. And well, not only that, we are proud to have more than 500,000 graduates who have already graduated. So those are that big is our community of the students. And with 16 campuses across BC, as I said, it makes us one of the largest institutions around. And on average, we are having around 4,500 active students. And we offer a range of programs, which kind of, if you put a number there, we offer more than 100 plus vocational diploma and certificate programs, Elias.
Great. By the way, you guys look so sharp and professional with your outfit and your background. I love it. I want one here too. So it's really good. Okay. So Therese, maybe we can continue with you. What is healthcare, or can you give us a background about the healthcare system in Canada, and what do healthcare assistants do? What are their responsibilities? Can you please inform us about that?
Sure. So Canadian healthcare system, it is comprised of the healthcare team, and that means doctors, specialists, nurses, and also healthcare assistants. So the duties of healthcare assistants are very integral because they provide person-centered care, and that might mean it includes bathing, oral hygiene, grooming or dressing the patient, taking vital signs, temperature, pulse, and respiration. Now, they might also work hand in hand with licensed practical nurses, and licensed practical nurses are kind of have similar duties, but they're trained, they have at least 2 year diploma training. And their duties again is patients centered care. Together with the healthcare assistant, they build a good team. And we also have registered nurses on top of that, which, as you know, is a 4 year bachelor's degree. Same duties as practical nurses, but more so on overseeing things. So together, healthcare assistant may report to either licensed practical nurse, registered nurse, and also will work. It's a good integral part of the healthcare team.
Okay, great. I think there's a small problem with your microphone. If you guys can, like, because you're okay, you're sharing a mic. When you move it, we can hear the sound. So if you can just leave it on the table or something, that would be great. Okay, right. So that's a healthcare system in Canada, and as you just explained in your slide, healthcare assistant, and then you can move your way up to registered nurse if you like. So what are the current and expected job openings for healthcare assistants, and what's a median wage for healthcare assistants here in Canada?
The minimum rate at the moment is $18 up to $26. Medium rate would be at the moment $22 an hour.
So just to add to that, that really translates into a very interesting figure, which is close to, Elias, around the healthcare assistant workers are making around $45,000 a year as a median wage. So it's a very interesting aspect of this profession, because certainly this is with so much of job demand, with expected, as my colleague just mentioned, around 18,000 jobs which are going to come over the next 10 years. I think this is one of the professions, especially because of COVID as well. The demand for healthcare workers has certainly increased, which certainly means a better prospects in terms of the wages that they would be earning.
Exactly, yeah. Especially after COVID, as you just said, the demand for healthcare assistants and just healthcare professionals in general is like it's surged. We need more healthcare professionals. Okay, then how do we become one? How do we become a healthcare assistant in Canada?
Sure. So to become a healthcare assistant, I'll just briefly cover the main requirements, and then I can give it to Teresa.
Sure.
So basically, you need to have a training. So to get the healthcare registration, you need to be registered with the BC Care Aid and Community Health Worker Registry. And at SproutShop, we are really proud that both our programs, which is the Healthcare Assistant and the Healthcare Assistant Internationally Educated with COP, is recognized because we follow the curriculum which comes from the BC Care Aid Registry, which further means once the students graduate from SproutShop College, they would automatically qualify for a license, which is the BC Care Aid Registry number, and then they can start working in this profession. Over to you, Teresa.
So the curriculum itself, trains the future healthcare assistant to be on the job, ready for the job. It comprises of the theory base, which is a lot of hours focusing on how to care for a patient, client, or tenant in varieties of healthcare setting. It also gives them an opportunity to practice all the theory base in practicums and then in co-op.
Okay, that's great. So as long as their students are educated at SproutShop College, they can technically become regulated healthcare assistants. Am I correct?
Absolutely, which allows them to work in public as well as private settings.
Great. How about international students? Do we admit international students into these programs?
Absolutely. So that's where I'm really excited about talking about the international aspects. And not only that, so yes, at SproutShop College International, both our healthcare programs, we accept students from across the globe. And talking about the two programs, first of all, we have a healthcare assistant program, which is a shorter program, which is, as you can see on the screen, it's 29 weeks for somebody who's looking to get into the industry faster. It is aimed at those. However, it comes with a slightly higher admission requirement in terms of IELTS score. So as you know, that IELTS is mandatory for somebody to take admission into our program. So and it should be IELTS academic. So we are looking at a score of overall 6 bands. However, to make things easier for the students, and especially for students coming from non-English speaking countries, we have a slightly lower IELTS academic requirement, as you can see on the screen, with an overall of 5.5 bands, with no less than 5 in reading and writing, and no less than 5.5 in listening and speaking. So this is why our new program, which is the Healthcare Assistant Internationally Educated COP, is largely focused on international students, as I said, who do not have a background, for whom English was not a native language, and they can still come over to Canada, join this profession, and just to make things easier for them. So within the program, we have something what we call as an ESL for particularly focusing on the medical terminology. So even if they don't have a very strong proficiency in English, the first 5 weeks, the students learns more on the English aspects of the program, so that when they go into the industry, they are able to well balance their skills as well as their communication skills overall per se.
Okay, and then they continue on to their theory part, and then, as I can see, a practicum, and then co-op. Okay, we're gonna talk about those as well, as I have questions about those here. Okay, it's great. We have a program for domestic and international students, and the one that is designed for international students specifically here. What makes SproutShop College and SproutShop College's HCA-IE, in short, Healthcare Assistant Internationally Educated Co-op program, different from other schools? And as we know, these healthcare programs are becoming popular for international students with other private institutions as well. What makes us different?
Absolutely. I think I love answering this question because I have so much ground to cover on this. So students have multiple reasons why they should be choosing SproutShop College for their healthcare program, especially the HCA-IE COP, the International Educated COP. First of all, we are the largest private nursing training institution inside British Columbia. In fact, we were the first institution as a private college who was given the license to run the practical nursing program. So that really talks about the rich history of us in delivering programs in the healthcare field. Not only HCA, but also, let's say, we do practical nursing, we do a postgraduate certificate in nursing. So that really talks about how well prepared we are when a student chooses us over other institutions. And one point that I've already covered, and I think which is the biggest takeaway from our program, is that once the student finishes the program, there is no further exam. The student automatically qualifies for a license or a BC rate registry number from the registry. Which is, I think, a big plus point, because there are only a handful of institutions inside BC who are given that designation to provide the curriculum which is approved by the ministry. And in addition to that, some other advantages is certainly a lower language requirement. It being a regulated profession as well as a program, certainly we need an IELTS, but there is a huge difference when we lower the score from 6 to 5.5, because it really limits the number of students who can apply to Sprott Shaw now. And you being from SSLC, I think you could be covering this ground as well, that how big a difference it is for somebody to secure an IELTS of overall 6 versus getting an overall 5.5 with even 5 bands acceptable for the 2 modules, which are reading and writing. So I think a lower language requirement is an icing on the cake. And just to kind of supplement that with the additional English component within the course, makes the program really, really good. And one point which we will talk certainly, I think, in the follow-up questions, is the 600 hours of co-op. And we are talking of a paid co-op in which the student has the opportunity to work in the industry, get hands-on experience, and that is, again, integrated part of the program. So the program comes with 600 hours or 30 weeks of co-op.
Okay. Then how do we join this program? What are the admission? I mean, you talked about the IELTS aspect, but do I need to have a background in healthcare? Can I just come from any background? Do I need to write any other tests? Can you inform us about the admission requirements of the HCA IE program?
Interesting question, Elias. So on the admissions front, the requirements are fairly basic. We don't need students to come from a very specific background. Students from all backgrounds are encouraged to apply for a healthcare assistant program. I know people from so many diverse backgrounds taking up this program, largely because of the huge job demand. However, as I said, IELTS is a mandatory component. We have already covered that. In addition to that, we would expect the student to write a simple exam, which is for the maths and the composition, which is offered by Sprott Shaw College, just to test their basic mathematics skills. And we offer that evaluation free of cost. The student, as a part of their admission process, just goes through that exam, which can be again taken online. And the student needs to be a 19-year-old or over to get the license. So that is something which the student needs to really keep in mind. So to apply as a matured student.
So did I get this right? Even if it's an international student, once they complete this program, they can get the license here in BC?
100%, yes.
Wow, that's great. Okay. And then obviously, if they end up staying here in Canada, they can work with that because they're a regulated healthcare assistant now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So not only that, Elias, if I may just add,
Sure.
Not only after the program, but even during the program.
During the program as well.
Yes. So during the program, the students in the healthcare assistant program, and I would want Teresa to probably talk more on that. They have ample opportunities to start working in the healthcare facilities through really different openings which are there.
Okay.
Correct. They can work as companions, so private employed companions. They can also work in facilities, clinical settings as a receptionist. This gives them a chance to actually apply and really even improve their English, because as you know, English would be the main language. And another place of work could be a dietary aid, which means they could be simply in a care home serving food. Obviously, they will get training, but it's a good way to practice person-centered communication, and they'll get used to the setting.
Great. Um, so you kept mentioning about IELTS. Is there any way to avoid IELTS test, Hemant, by any chance? Like, can they come to our pathway program? Does our pathway program work for this specific program or not really?
It certainly does, Elias, because they cannot really skip the IELTS. There's no way
Mm-hmm.
around because
Okay.
IELTS is mandatory. But
Mm-hmm.
that's where I think SSLC really comes in, because with the range of programs that SSLC offers for the pathway,
Mm-hmm.
which I would really want you to probably talk about in
Mm-hmm.
details. This will really help us to the
Okay.
students can take that basic training. If you could elaborate on Elias on that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
However, a requirement for us would be that student successfully completes the IELTS academic with the required score that I've already mentioned
Oh,
to qualify to start with the program.
okay. So in this case, what we can do, if students don't have the um, required levels, they can study at SSLC. They can go to our IELTS test preparation program uh, for 4, 8, or 12 weeks, or even longer if they want. We can prepare them for the IELTS exam, and they can. This is one way. If they want to, even come before that and start with ESL, we can also do that. They can move their up. They can move their way up to IELTS or even our pathway program, where they can improve their academic writing, academic English. So we have a variety of options here at SSLC. Uh, and again, this is required because it's required by the BC government. So that's why students need to obtain IELTS score. Okay, all right. So I saw in your earlier slides that this program has a practicum and co-op portion.
Correct.
What's the difference between practicum and co-op?
Yeah. So, Teres, if you could just talk about a bit more on the practicum which is involved, and then I can cover the co-op aspects.
Sure. Well, practicum is a chance for the students to apply the theory that they've learned in classes, and it
Mm-hmm.
could be in various settings: assisted living, complex care, long-term care facility, home setting, which is community setting, meaning you're going to a person's house to provide care. Main difference, obviously, is practicum is not paid,
Mm-hmm.
and co-op is paid.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think, as Teresa just rightly pointed, that practicum gives them the opportunity to go in for the get the hands-on experience. However, it
Mm-hmm.
is not paid. I think
Mm-hmm.
we are one of the very, very few and niche programs inside Canada after they finish the theory component, as well as in addition to that, we're offering a 30 weeks of paid co-op. And now co-op really gets me excited when a co-op is an integral part of any program, because see, as an international student, what am
Mm-hmm.
I really looking at? One, it provides me a platform to network, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I am in the industry. I'm in a real time working environment. I'm with the relevant people, of course, offering my skills, but at the same time networking, which will open the doors for me for future opportunities in the same field. That's one. Second, as an international student, I'm always under a lot of financial pressure to cover my education cost, to cover my living cost. So a paid co-op really offers me that opportunity to earn some money and recover my costs. And I think that is something which is very, very significant when I talk about a co-op opportunity. And lastly, it really opens the opportunities for a full-time job offer once I finish my co-op, because having spent that time and earned that kind of stipend, it's really an opportunity. If I have the right skills, the employer will be more than willing to show their interest in hiring me. And if that can really get me my first job, full-time job in Canada, I think this is what makes my program, this co-op program, really as one of these very few programs, as I said, which gives me the complete blend of theory, English, practicum into various clinical settings, and then finally an industry relevant co-op.
Yes, and as you just summarized, doing a co-op, right? It will offset your costs as an international student because you earn money, you get a work experience, right? It's very valuable for your career. Okay. There are some questions here, by the way. We will answer these questions, but maybe since Claudia just asked two questions. By the way, Claudia, if you want, you can come on stage live and ask your questions live. If you prefer to do so, we can invite you on stage as well, and this applies to anyone. The question here is this program available in Toronto? The short answer is no.
Yes.
Yeah,
The answer is no. Sorry.
no.
Go ahead.
And she asked. She has a bachelor's degree in nursing in Mexico. How can she become a nurse in Canada with our programs? I will touch base on this just in a bit. So if you stay tuned, Claudia, I will get either Therese or Hemant answer your question. Okay, so obviously students will work during their co-op and they get paid. But how about when they study? Can they work for part-time and earn money during their studies?
Certainly. As an international student, they are authorized to work part time, which is 20 hours a week. And they can, as Teresa just talked about, that they can work in the healthcare facilities as in the non regulated options, which could be a companion or a dietitiary aide, so or maybe a receptionist, because the faster that they are in the industry, they will get used to or accustomed to the entire setting. And really, as I said, networking is another great opportunity that they get with this. So certainly, yes, all our students are eligible to work part-time during the first 8 months before they really go into the co-op.
Okay. And do you help students arranging jobs like their co-op jobs and practicum?
Right. So certainly both the practicum and the co-op is the responsibility of the college, of the institution. So not only for this program, across our range of programs, wherever we have been offering co-op and practicum, we have dedicated employment service specialists, and along with the program directorships, they work in the industry to ensure that there is sufficient supply of these companies, institutions, community settings wherein they have the relevant job openings, and our students go ahead and get facilitated for these jobs, and these opportunities are created by the institution. Teresa, if you would just want to elaborate upon that a bit.
I think it's a good system that Spratshaw has, because Spratshaw is renowned in this industry, and certainly this various healthcare setting will certainly look forward into having the students and actually welcome them in the facilities or even in community settings. And it's good that the college offers that instead of the student individually looking. As you know, with COVID, we do our own due diligence as well to pick up the facilities, the settings, and to ensure that there's no outbreak in there.
Okay. Did you want to add something, Hemant, or?
No, I'm good. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right. So to become, just to clarify one more time, I think we discussed this already, but to become a registered healthcare assistant, do students need to take any additional exams with the government or with the regulated authorities?
No exam is required. As SprotShore curriculum, I would just re-emphasize on this factor that SprotShore College healthcare assistant programs are recognized by the BC K-Rate and Community Worker Registry. Hence, our students automatically qualify for the eligibility of this K-Rate registry number, which is fairly simple as equivalent to sending an application online. And me and Teresa were just discussing, and our students have received the K-Rate registry within a week as well.
Okay, great. So next question is, actually, I was watching the news last night, and there was a question about this, if international students will be able to get the COVID vaccinations here in Canada. And obviously, students in the healthcare programs, they'll work in healthcare facilities, and healthcare people are the first ones to get the vaccinations, right? So will our students get vaccinated when they do their co-ops with us?
At the moment, I know for sure that if they end up in any of the facilities under Fraser Health, once we arrange for them to go, they themselves, the facilities will, as long as we forward student email, cell phone, they themselves will contact the specific students that are scheduled to go in the facility and connect with Fraser Health to get their first shots and the second shot.
Great. So if they come and study in this program, they will be vaccinated before everyone else, probably. Okay. So let's come to Claudia's question. What do we after, like, what can students do after complete? Okay, they become a healthcare assistant here in BC. What are their options? What are their next steps? Can they become, as you just explained in that chart, can they become practical nurse? Can they move their way up to becoming a practical nurse later on?
Yes, Elias. So I think there are myriad options when we talk about the career pathway or the career advancement for a healthcare assistant professional. Of course, we cannot really stress enough on the fact that there are multiple job opportunities wherein they can start working in any of the community or private or public setting, which includes senior homes and long-term assisted caregiving and so many other settings that Teresa has already covered. But just to focus on the particular question that is being asked, let's say if they really want to go ahead and grow up the hierarchy and become a practical nurse in the future, then certainly this program really, I would say, that paves the road or the pathway towards the practical nursing. And if you can see on the screen, we call it a practical nurse access, which is nothing but a fast track program towards becoming a practical nurse. So that's option A, where if the student, and I just want to elaborate a bit more on that, the requirements for somebody to start with after becoming a healthcare assistant, the road towards becoming a nurse would also involve getting around 600 hours of work experience as a healthcare assistant. So once they gain their registry number, they start working in this industry, and then they get this 600 hours of experience, based upon which they can directly come back to SprotShore College. They can join the Practical Nurse Access program, which is nothing but a fast track format of the regular practical nursing program. That means the program that they have done with SprotShore Healthcare Assistant gives them certain credits, which really shortens the length that they have to spend now in the nursing program. And once the student has qualified or completed the nursing program at SprotShore College, they anyways qualify to write the National Nursing Licensing Exam for becoming a PN, which is also called CPNRE. So this is the pathway and how a student can really transform after starting as an HCA in Canada with SprotShore College and becoming a nurse in the future.
Okay, so they start with HCA program, healthcare assistant program, and then once they complete the program, and if they want to continue on to become a practical nurse here in Canada, they can basically move on and study more with SprotShore College. And at the same time continue working part-time, and perhaps they can do another co-op, and then they'll be able to write the exam to become
Yes.
practical nurse, right?
Yes.
Okay. So to move on to the practical nursing program, do they have to provide another IELTS score, or can they just directly move on from HCA, or do they have, like, there are more requirements?
Yeah, Elias, I'll just cover that briefly. Yes, a new IELTS would be required, because to write the CPNRE exam and to start the practical nursing program, the IELTS requirement is certainly higher, because if we just go back to that hierarchy, the nursing, the job demand and the roles that the practical nursing would be really delivering would be certainly be at a level which is higher than the healthcare assistant, which really transforms into a higher IELTS academic requirement, which is overall 7. And Teresa is a practical nurse, so I would really want her to just probably cover her experience on what's the necessity on becoming an PN in Canada.
Yeah. So how long does it take you to become a practical nurse here in Canada? What you have to do? What steps you have to follow, Therese?
So certainly, if they're coming from the healthcare assistant program, they already have a step up, because majority of the component as well discusses the personal care, the direct care. Again, that is the assistance with hygiene, bathing. So they've covered that. The second component that is the reason why it's a step up from the healthcare assistant is because now you are going to assess the client's condition. So part of that would be further assessment, further checking of the blood pressure. You need to know anatomy and physiology a little bit deeper as a licensed practical nurse. And certainly more education, more hours in the classroom, hours in the practical site, and clinicals.
Okay, that's great. So they can certainly start from scratch here in Canada, start with our HCA program, and then move their way up to becoming a practical nurse. So then my next question is, okay, it's good. They've taken our programs, and they've even taken the PN exam here in BC. How can they stay in Canada? Can students, international students, get post-graduation work permit with these programs, or what options do we have for them? Because I've seen a question here as well from Andres. Andres was asking if this program or college is eligible for PGWP. So what options do we have for PGWP?
Sure. Elias, so a couple of things here, how I would like to cover this particular question. So one, as I can understand, PGWP would be something which is related to their license to start working inside Canada in this profession. So there could be multiple pathways towards that. One is that the student, after finishing, and that's where the co-op really comes into the picture, because the whole idea of co-op is to have the students spend those many number of hours in the industry, which really creates a lot of opportunities for the student and to get a potential job offer, which will be a full-time job offer, wherein the healthcare employer would most likely be in a position to sponsor the work permit of our students. And if I go by the history of our healthcare professionals, most of our students end up getting a wonderful job, and wherein the employer would want to hire and would want that student to stay with them at least, let's say, for 1 year, 2 years, or higher, depending upon the job opening that they have, and also upon the skills. So most of our students end up getting a what we, in the immigration terms, we call something like an LMIEA, which is nothing but, in a very plain language, a sponsored work permit from the employer. But in addition to that, if a student really would want to get an open work permit, then the other option that we work is that our healthcare professionals can really go ahead and choose a university to substantiate their study, to supplement their study. And that's where a university pathway with City University, a very famous and a very highly ranked US university having its campus and operations in Vancouver, offers their bachelor degree program and recognizes our students, and they, for the study that they have done inside Canada, particularly the healthcare assistant programs. And then the students earn credits for what they have studied and spent time in Sprotcher College, leading to a direct or a lateral entry into the third year of City University to earn a bachelor's degree. And post the City University program, which combined can be completed in almost, including Sprotcher College, in anything between 2.5 to 3 years, the student is eligible for a PGWP of up to 3 years. I hope that really helps you to answer the particular question.
So, so you're basically saying once they complete their studies at Sprotcher College, they can transfer their credits to City University. That is also here in downtown Vancouver, very close to RPM. Actually, we're in the same building with Sprotcher International campus with City University. And they can earn their bachelor's degree here in Canada. And in management, Bachelor of Arts in Management they offer. And that's great. And after that, because they earn a degree here in Canada, they can apply for up to 3 years of post-graduation work permit, which is great. And they would have a diploma from Sprotcher College. They would have a degree here in Canada. So they would have, later on when they apply for their permanent residencies, right? They would have more than two diplomas, right? One from CTU, one from Sprotcher College, and if they have it from their home countries, that's great. They have even more. And then they can work with an open work permit, with post-graduation work permits, and that work experience will be counted towards Canadian work experience. So they can have more points, and then eventually, and after that, they can become a registered nurse or PM here in Canada, and if they complete all the exams. Okay, that's great. I hope that answers Andres' question. Okay, I've seen a few more questions, and by the way, we are live on Facebook, on Twitter, on our website, and on YouTube. So we've had a question from Facebook. Do you provide accommodation for international students? That's a great question. So I am a student, international student. I want to come to Sprotcher College and go to one of your healthcare programs. Where can I stay?
Sure. So we offer a range of student housing options under our sister concern, Global Education City. So it's an in-house offering, and we are offering this range of student options. It could be single accommodation, it could be shared accommodation. Especially in COVID, it makes sense that we have come up with packages which will really help the student, which are very cost effective. And the best part is that these buildings or these residences are just right across the downtown campus where we are offering this HCA program. So it becomes very convenient for the students, and with facilities like in-house cleaning, weekly cleaning options available, as well as in-house washing, dry cleaning, and a lot of recreational activities. It makes our overall offering very, very attractive in the market.
You even get a Netflix account.
Yes.
At GC, which is great. Okay. All right. We answered that question as well. So, and by the way, let's remind our students, our viewers today, our schools, Sprotcher College, Sprotcher Language College, Vancouver International College, we are all a designated learning institution with a COVID-19 preparedness plan. They've been approved last year, so students can apply for study permits, and they can travel to Canada and start studying with us, either at SSLC, at Sprotcher College, or even at VIC. So they can come, they can travel, start their programs. Borders are open. There's just a 3-night hotel accommodation requirement was passed last week. So you just need to self-isolate for 3 nights at a government-approved hotel, and then we'll take care of it. We'll pick you up from the airport, and then we'll take you to our GC residences. You can continue self-isolating there for 11 more days, and then you can stay. We have four residences in operation right now. Two of them are in downtown GC Granville and GC Viva. We have GC Pearson and Burnaby Heights. And if you come to SSLC, of course, you can stay at GC, or we can also arrange homestay depending on your situation. Okay, there's a good question here. Maybe this can go to threes. It comes from Heaton. What are the common challenges international students may face during the clinical experience, and how they have overcome the challenges in your experience?
In my experience, there's not a lot, because our goal in the classroom is to prepare you in the real world. But you do have the support of the clinical instructors and the support of your instructor in class if you do come across a challenge. Right now, currently, the challenge would be is if they would be a stop on the clinical practice because they have an outbreak. Because we want you to be safe, we may arrange to take you out of that if they have an outbreak because of COVID-19, and we will try our best to place you to another clinical site. Most common, again, because English would be the second language, is maybe barriers in communication, which is easily fixed. Again, you have the clinical instructor support, you have your instructor in class that you can connect with. Again, we prepare you for this in the classroom. Theory-wise, there's a lot of components that oftentimes, you get to really get into it in a clinical setting. Maybe for some people, finding that English, sometimes a certain word may mean two things. Again, easily can be fix by asking questions. You have the support of the current staff as well, as you know, because Sprottshaw is known to produce good healthcare assistant nurses. They welcome students there, and they'd be happy to help you every step of the way.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for answering that. I think we're done with the questions here, but I have just a few more maybe to add on. So, okay, I'm a prospective student and I'm ready to join the HCA program, Healthcare Assistant Program for international students. When can I start? When is the next intake? What are the start dates of this program? When can I start? When's the early dates? That's the first question.
So that would really depend upon whether the student is inside Canada or not yet. Apart from that, as Sprottshaw College, we offer quarterly intakes for this program. We just started one last month, like February was one of the start dates. With our next start date is due for May 10th.
May 10th. And then after that would be maybe...
Yeah, so it'll be again quarterlies. Yeah, July will be the next, yeah.
Okay, July. Okay, perfect. All right. And what are the tuition fees for this program?
Yeah, so the tuition fee for this program, HCA Co-op, is approximately $16,000 Canadian dollars, and yep. So that's something which includes everything, right? It includes your incidentals, your books, as of course your tuition fee, as well as the fee for the co-op. So I think one of the very cost-effective programs, because if I just do a quick return on investment, you have a 600 hours of paid co-op, and we just talked of a median salary of what, like let's say around 22. So even if a student just going into co-op, let's say if you do it around anything between 16 to 18, I'm approximately looking at a return of investment just through co-op of around $10,000. So imagine the student is able to make that much money during the program. So it really paves the way for a wonderful career, really a high-paid career, especially in the current COVID times.
Okay, so it's $16,000 for the 60-week program, for the whole program.
For the 66 weeks program, yeah.
66 weeks. Okay, perfect. Yeah. All right, then it's very affordable, and time to time, Sprottshaw College, also might offer scholarship opportunities depending on your situation. So do not hesitate to contact Sprottshaw College for scholarship opportunities, I would say.
Right.
Okay. All right. I think we can wrap it up for today. those are it for my questions, unless we have more questions from the audience. If not, we can wrap up today. So today we talked about Sprott Shaw College's healthcare assistant for internationally educated students program, right? Okay, I just see a question here. As an international student, will the move to remote course delivery impact my immigration status? By the way, yeah, I forgot to ask this question. Are you running this program online right now, or is it on campus? What's the form of delivery for of
Sure.
this program?
So it's a blended. Some of the theories will certainly be covered online through WebEx. We use
Mhm.
WebEx, but there is a lab component as well, which the students will be required to go in a lab setting. It's a simulated area we're in. There's beds, there's Annie the mannequin, and the students get to practice what they've learned in theory. Now we are following a COVID protocol as well to keep everybody safe, the instructor, the campus administrator, and the students. So yeah, it is a combination of classroom and lab.
Yeah, and to answer Tiana's question, no, it won't affect you if you're here in Canada with a study permit, or if you hold a study permit and you study, you won't be affected. Okay, so you're welcome. Okay, so we discussed about the HCA-IE co-op program. We're really excited to offer this to our students here at SSLC and at VICCC as well. We learned about the admission requirements. We learned about how to become a healthcare assistant here in Canada. We learned about how much you can make as a healthcare assistant here in Canada, and then how you can move your way up to become a registered nurse. And we talked about the PGWP opportunities with further studies at City University. So you have lots of options under the umbrella of Sprott Shaw College and, of course, our schools. Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. To our speakers, of course, thanks for joining us, and we'll do monthly sessions on our healthcare programs. I think the next one will be on March 25th, if I'm not mistaken, and Jim can share those as well. And there was a question about this presentation. This is recorded, of course, and you can watch this on our YouTube channel, on Facebook, on our social media platforms. You can always go back to this video and refer to this. And if you have any questions, of course, you can reach out to us. You can email us here at SSLC or Sprott Shaw College. We have student advisors and marketers that speak your language, so you don't have to be shy. You can even write to us in your own languages, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can, and we can plan your education and your career here in Canada. And of course, we will continue with our Pathway webinar series next week as well. I believe we are hosting Lakehead University next week, so stay tuned for our webinars. And I'd like to thank Sprott Shaw team here, and I'll see you guys again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Elias. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Take care.
The most beautiful country on earth, 3 most livable cities in Canada, over 14,000 graduates, and 20 unique programs in English. Welcome to Canada, welcome to Sprott Shaw Language College. Hi, This is Ilyas. As the Pathway Program Manager and the Marketing Manager for Europe, I will share with you today how you can live, study, and work in Canada. Canada stands out with its safe, multicultural society, quality of education, and high living standards. These things make Canada one of the most reputable countries in the world. It is also more affordable to study in Canada than other countries like the US and UK. Here, you can meet and study with students from over 75 different countries and also study and work through our career college. Or you can enroll in our Pathway program to study at Canada's top colleges and universities while working 20 hours per week to obtain work experience in an English-speaking country. If you want to be a part of this great experience at Sprott Language College, apply today. Now it's time for Canada.